Where the fuck is Shavkat Rakhmonov? Am I the only one that's been kind of thinking all this welterweight news, and I'm just like, this dude's the #1 contender. He's turning into fucking Arman Sarukian. Where the fuck is Shavkat Rakhmonov? I can't be the only one that's sitting there scratching my fucking head being like, this dude's about to get leapfrogged. It doesn't matter that you beat Ian Garry. It doesn't matter that Belal Muhammad pulled out. You're about to get fucking leapfrogged. Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. I'm going to talk about it. Or Manor Morales. Manor Morales. Definitely not him, Michael Morales. But I want to talk about Shavkat first. Where is Shavkat Rakhmonov? I feel like he's obviously he had the injury back in he was meant to fight in May, I think it was. Obviously he had the injury back then, but he's one fighter I have not heard a fucking peep from. Not a peep. And I'm just like, you are literally the #1 contender. You were in Arman, well, you did you did a lot better than Arman where the champion pulled out. You didn't pull out, okay? And I know I don't necessarily. It's a tricky one with Shavkat. He didn't pull out. He took Ian Garry on short notice. He cemented the #1 contender fight. He was injured, but he never pulled out. He was never agreed or never signed to fight on that date. Do you punish someone for that? Do you punish someone for still fighting Ian Garry on short notice? Because you can't give Ian Garry a title shot over Shavkat now. No matter what weight. I don't give a fuck if fucking Ian Garry dismantles. And I'm going to give a good example now in a minute. If Ian Garry dismantles Blam, I'll be at that. I can't wait for it. I'm going to Qatar for it. If Ian Garry dismantles him, no matter what you can do, you cannot give him a title shot. Here's why. #1, because Shavkat Rakhmonov beat him. I don't care how many media days Ian Garry does saying how he made Shavkat look human and he took his back. He lost. And 2, Sean Brady submitted Leon Edwards his first fight back, which Belal Muhammad is in the exact same position, and Leon Edwards was actually a defending champion. So you can't do that. Sean Brady's literally fighting down to fight Michael Morales. Ian Garry's in a position where he could be next. But he's probably going to fight again. This probably won't submit. See, when I was looking at all these fights, I thought, okay, this is Ian's way to the title, and he'll fight the winner of JDM versus Makhachev. But then I remembered, Shavkat Rakhmonov exists. And I have not heard one single thing about this guy the last year apart from that he was injured. Back in May. Is he still fucking injured? What? I think he should be next. A lot of people will disagree in that. A lot of people would say Sean Brady, if he beats Michael Morales, which he will, should be next. I just disagree. You cannot punish Shavkat for not being able to fight when he never signed. He never put. If Shavkat pulled out and JDM stepped in, this is a different conversation. Shavkat would have fought Brady, I feel. That's my personal opinion. But you cannot punish Shavkat for not being scheduled to fight someone. He was next in line and he asserted it, but he got injured and JDM swooped and saved the day. Not for Belal, for everyone else. But that's how it fell. You cannot punish Shavkat Rakhmonov for that. You can't punish him for saving an event on short notice, fighting Ian Garry. Well, Al Muhammad pulled out. That's where we're at. But I was just thinking today, I was like, damn, all these welterweight fights, like, we got Brady versus, Morales, we got JDM versus Makhachev, we got all this shit, and then all of a sudden I was just like, the #1 contender is just missing. Now, maybe he's staying quiet, and in a month's time when JDM fights Makhachev, we'll see the kind of resurrection of Shavkat being like, right, I'll see you in March, or I'll see you in whatever, March, April, May, in and around that time. That's a year and a half out the cage. That's a year and a half out the cage for Shavkat. Am I going to be betting on Shavkat to beat either of them? No. I'm not. I don't think Shavkat will be. I need to see Shavkat fight again because he did not look good against Ian Garry. And if that's the performance I'm carrying into a JDM versus Makhachev winner and Shavkat hasn't fought again, and that's the performance we're going in with, and he's been a year and a half out the cage, I cannot sit here and say Shavkat's going to win. I just can't. Ian Garry, as much as he's, made him a human, as much as he says that, he held him up again. It was such a fucking... I fucking... oh my god, I've said this so many times. I've tried, bro. I've tried. I've tried so hard to like Ian Garry over the years. I've tried so hard to like Ian Garry. I promise you, I have tried so hard to be an Ian Garry fan. but he just leaves you with no option other than saying you're so annoying. But he is an incredible fighter, and he will beat Bilal Muhammad. But for Shavkat, you know, there's it's weird. It's just weird because I don't think you can take away his title shot. But then again, I'm like, will we end up just seeing Ian versus Brady for a title eliminator? If Sean Brady has to fight for a title eliminator after this fight, I love Sean Brady. Sean Brady will fight Ian Garry in the title eliminator after this. He will literally submit Leon Edwards. He could sit and wait. Brady could sit and wait. But the thing is, if Prates beats Leon, then the whole Leon win doesn't, in people's heads, it doesn't really stack up to what it once was, which is an incredible win. He submitted the number one contender. This was the first fight back in London on short notice. A lot of people, if Leon puts on a staple performance, which I fucking hope he does, the conversation could be different. But Brady and Ian could end up fighting in a title eliminator bout, and I would love to see that. That would be fucking sick. Do that in Ireland, and then go from there. You let the winner fight the winner of Shavkat. So the way it's going to play out, in my opinion, JDM versus Islam will do what they do. Shavkat will fight the winner. I think you just have to give it to Shavkat as well. Like, Islam versus Shavkat is, oh my lord, that is an insane fight. That is insane. That is an absolutely incredible fight. I think every single MMA fan on the planet would be just loving that fight. I think they would love it. And I think it would be so big, especially if Makhachev goes in there and finishes JDM. I'd be picking Makhachev, but Shavkat's a fucking big dude. He's a fucking big dude. But I want to talk about Sean Brady and Myers versus here for a little bit. I'm going to be picking Sean Brady. I think Sean Brady has improved. I think he's such a different fighter than he was 3 years ago when he fought Bilal Muhammad. I think he's a completely different fighter. Much more elusive on the feet. His wrestling is just incredible. I think he could be one of the best wrestlers in the UFC. I think Hamzat's the best wrestler in the UFC, but Sean Brady's top 3. Yeah, I've said it. He could be the second best wrestler in the UFC. He could be the second best wrestler in the UFC. That's the level of confidence I hold Sean Brady at with that Leon Edwards performance, with the Kelvin Gastelum performance, even the little wins along the way that happened a few years ago, like the Michael Chiesa performance. Brady is an absolute beast. And I've been watching Moraes since the Contender Series, before he fought in the Contender Series. Dude's a stud. Dude's extremely good in the fucking feet. But I think Brady will take him down. And I just think Brady's got really good striking as well, to where I know he got finished on the feet by Bilal Muhammad. That's the worst possible way. That is the worst possible way I could ever start a sentence in human history. But that happened 3 years ago. Okay, and it was kind of like a standing TKO where Brady just kind of gave up and quit. And before anyone was like, "Oh, how could you say that?" He literally said it, so it's okay for me to say. He said he gave up and quit. He just froze. Since that happened, he's a completely different fighter. That was the best thing that ever happened to Sean Brady's career. Losing that undefeated record. That undefeated record holds so much to some people. They're just like, I need to be undefeated. This is how I become a GOAT of the sport. No, you don't need that undefeated record. You don't need it. Did you really fight the best? Did you really fight the best if you're undefeated? Or did you pick and mix and take steroids? But I'd be picking Sean Brady. I think he's going to be able to control him. I think he's going to be able to take him down. I think he's going to ride out a decision. That card is looking. That's on the Brady versus. Oh fuck! That's on the JDM card. Maybe we have a number one contender fight there. But then again, if Ian Garry beats Belal, me and you are never going to hear the end of it. And I don't think people understand what's going to happen if Ian Garry beats Belal. I don't know if Ian's... See, the thing is, yeah, I actually do back Ian so heavily to where, like, it doesn't matter who he fights. He's gonna... He is one of the people in the sport that's anytime, anywhere. Ian Garry is one of those people. Listen, I respect Ian Garry a lot. I fucking love having Ian Garry in the sport. As much as he's an annoying twerp, I actually... I love having Ian Garry in the sport. It's good to have someone to hate on. Sometimes. It's good to have someone where you're like, you're so fucking annoying. But I want Ian to win. I want Ian to win. I want Ian to win because he brings name. He's got star value, and he's just one of the top guys in the division. So I want Ian to win. I don't want him to lose to fucking Bilal Muhammad. Like, that would be so ass. But welterweight is flowing, man. Welterweight is absolutely flowing. Where's Shavkat Rakhmonov? That was the whole point of this video. Fella's gone missing. I want to see you in the cage. I want to see you in the cage before. I just want to know what's going on. Because you're stuck in that thing where if Brady beats Morales, and let's say he finishes him, I'm not entirely mad. Fuck, I don't know. I don't think Shavkat should be punished, but I don't think sitting out for a year and a half is the answer either. That's where I'm kind of at with the whole Shavkat thing. If he's injured, that's one thing. Come out and fucking say you're injured and I can't fight. When I return, I'll be fighting for the belt. That's all I need to hear. But it's the uncertainty of maybe they tweet being like, oh, see you soon. I'm like, fucking soon. Soon means next year. Every time. It doesn't matter if it's January. Soon means next year. I'm sick of it. Like, subscribe, and thank